Fabulous. So welcome everybody to today's masterclass. Zoom's driving me crazy. Okay, so this is a bit, I guess, a bit more of an advanced session rather than the ChatGPT basics. So we're going to spend a little bit more time thinking about agents and how to use them and why you would need to use them. I can't get that box out of the way. It's annoying me. So hopefully it's not annoying you. But you know what it's like. One person business owner, we just wear so many hats. We end up doing everything ourselves. The list is endless. It's just a headache. Client work, marketing, admin, content, sales. It's just absolutely, it can be quite paralyzing sometimes, especially when you want to think of how you're actually going to scale a business. So a lot of people think that AI is about automation, but it's not about automation. That's one very, very small part of it. But another part of it is designed to help you to make smarter, faster, more informed business decisions. So you can actually use AI as a strategic um, business partner, which is, I have found personally, my clients find really, really useful. So one of the biggest growth blocks, it isn't about time, it's about having decision fatigue, knowing what the right decision is to implement into the business. And also, as we are one person business owners, it's recognizing the skill gaps that there are within our own businesses as well. And hiring people can be expensive, and it's a double-edged sword. Hiring people is really expensive, but doing it all yourself at the same time actually isn't sustainable. So, what? Just imagine if you could have an AI team that could actually do some of that heavy lifting for you. So it's not that you're lacking the skills, it's that ultimately you're lacking capacity. So the real issue is a lack of the it's you can only do with what you know. So what's the saying? You only know what you know. I'm not sure that is the saying, actually. It doesn't sound quite right now I'm saying it. Something like that anyway. But you have a lack of bandwidth, basically. You simply don't have the time to be the CEO, to do the marketing, to do the sales, to do everything. And that is where AI can actually step in now, which is brilliant. And I don't know why it's taken me so long to realize this. I mean, I've created 45 agents and they sit in a membership and the clients use those agents, and I've been creating them, and I've been creating them for as long as GPT has been out with inside ChatGPT. And it wasn't until this weekend that I realized actually what I had created was something quite incredible. So my problem is, and it is for many business owners, is wanting to scale, not having the budget to be able to afford a consultant who's going to help me to scale. Also, I find that a bit risky because I don't know if they're any good. I don't know if they're credible. I don't know, if I'm going to spend 10K to work with someone, I want to know that I'm going to get a return on investment and some results ultimately. And I know from past experience that that hasn't always been achievable when I've invested that amount of money with people, because a lot of them actually haven't been that good. So my problem was, I want to scale. How am I going to do it? I don't have a spare 10K lying around to hire somebody. What is it that I can do to help myself resolve this bottleneck in the business? And I just thought, why no? I'll create myself an agent. Why I didn't think of this before, I don't know, because I create them all the time. But maybe it's because it's my own business. I'm like so stuck in my head, I hadn't realized what I could do. So I spent half a day creating an AI agent that now helps me scale. So not only have I saved myself a considerable amount of money, but I'm filling a skill gap in the business that I have that isn't unique to me, which means that this is going to be valuable for other people. But I have, so I'm updating my skills. I will make more of a return on investment because of the process that the agent can take me through. So basically, I created an agent that's going to help me to scale in half a day, which is quite, which is really, really, really quite something. And I've only just realized, as I said, which is bizarre, that actually that's really incredible that I can think of the skill gaps that I've got in the business, and then I can create an agent to help me to fill them. And as I said, I've built 45 agents, and they're all designed to solve real business problems. So each one exists to help a business to make smarter, faster decisions. It's just this one is focused in on actually scaling. And I'm going to show you some others as well. So Mia, Scale Pro, she scales with purpose, and I've designed her to take me through a step-by-step process so I can scale business. So I'm really successful with one-person business owners, coaches, consultants, and therapists. I have a lot of people in the membership, which is great, but I wanted to stretch myself and move into a new market, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I want to start reaching out to accountants and small solicitors firms, so 3 to 5 people in the business. And I was just perplexed as to how I could do it, which is strange because ultimately I've helped people do this for years, but I just couldn't get my head around how to do it myself, which is bizarre. So it took me half a day to create her, and it is a her. She does have a name. I do gender my agents. There's just something that I find, I don't know, it feels more like a relationship. It feels much more like a partnership. But ultimately, she goes through a step-by-step process. She can help me to, well, the first thing we've done is we have analyzed all of my testimonials, all of my programs, and she came back with these are the best businesses for you to approach. So tick that's that job done. And it's done from a place of data. It's not done from oh, this might be a good idea, or, energetically following it. It's done from real data within my business. So I know it's solid and I can be quite confident in what I'm doing. So she's helped me to build manual outreach. So thinking about how I'm going to outreach people, how am I going to bring people in, because this is a new market I haven't worked with before, refining the message. So a step-by-step process that I can go through, which is great. So I talk a lot about people creating their own AI dream teams. And there are 4 fundamental agents that I think everybody should have, although I might add in this one now because it is about strategy and growth and growing and moving beyond where you're at. So this might actually become the a 5th one in the in a must-have that people should have. So an AI dream team, it's not, apart from the 4 that I recommend, or now 5, it's not a one hat fits all. It's not a cookie cutter, here's an AI agent. What we do is we have the 4 founders, the 4 fundamental agents, the ones I think everyone should have. And then what we do is we create ones that are unique for each business. So another one that I created at the weekend was to help a client to find funding and grants. So that agent has been called Jennifer, has that sole purpose. That's all it does. It finds funds and it finds grants in the charity sector so that she can use that. That's part of her dream team. That will save her a considerable amount of time. So the sister one to that will be, once I've created it, so we've got identify, and then what we want to do is create one then to help her to fill in the form. So I'll create it so that it has the job role of grants and application filling. So that will help her. So there'll be two agents in that little family. And I think an AI dream team framework is really important because it just helps you plan, it helps you scale, it it just offers so many benefits. But this isn't about thinking of AI like a tool. You know, it's not a one night stand. You don't go in there, pop in the information, and then expect to get good information out. This is where you have a conversation and you can bring the different agents in and have a conversation so you can get a better perspective of where the business is at. And you can also use different agents. So what I do every week is I bring in just three agents, the CEO, the business coach, and the sales mentor, and I bring them into a conversation. We do an analysis the week before. I bring them into a conversation, and then they create a report between them. So that is very much them connecting to one another, analyzing the data, and then giving me a report so I can grow the business. So four core agents and probably a fifth one now, but at the moment I have predominantly just been saying that these four are the most important, and I still think they universally should be key for a small business, one person business owners, and even small businesses actually. And they consist of a CEO, thinks big picture, business strategy, big picture, because I created him because I'm rubbish at big picture. I'm better at small picture. So you've got a CEO, and then you've got a business coach. So small picture, Wendy was named after myself, being a business coach. She likes to solve problems day to day. She's not big picture. She's really like in the she's more earthy, more raw. She likes to deal with problems and challenges. The other two are Tip is a sales mentor, so she's created with sales psychology in the background. And Buzz helps you to do your marketing plan. So Buzz is a marketing manager. So I always recommend these four agents. And then these four agents can have a conversation with one another, and you can get like a board discussion going so that it helps you to figure out what is going on in the business. So Bernie, we created her, well, I created her a very unique, trying to think what it is now, a unique member for her team. So she's got the four founder agents, but one of the things she wanted to do was, so she's a spiritual business owner, and she wanted to create an agent that could help her to make pendulum instructions. And I thought, oh my God, how am I going to do this? But she loves it. It took me a while to figure it out, but she absolutely loves it. She has increased her business by 30%. And not only that, she hasn't increased the amount of time she's spending in the business, which is absolutely cool. Sean, he does social media management for his clients. He's roughly saving himself about 15 hours a week. It's over £14,000 a year because he's using it to do his clients' social media marketing for him. So that's one specific agent that does one specific role. Bernie, one specific agent, one specific role. And what this means is that you don't have to endlessly keep prompting because they are created and set up to fill a specific role. Like if you were hiring an employee, you would give them a job description. So these agents have job descriptions, and they are trained with a bank of knowledge in the background as well. So Maria uses it exactly the same way that I do, and she saves around the same amount of money a week as I do, which is about £1,000 a week. She saves on that because she's using it as a business coach, CEO, copy. She uses it for strategy. She uses it exactly the same way that I use it. So these ultimately, they're not random users of AI. They're using it strategically in the business. So they think of it more of a not just a partnership, but how can they create to fill a skill gap in the business. Another client of mine who is doing hypnotherapy, we created her a hypno script writer. And so that's unique to her business. So that from creating that unique AI agent, she says she's saving about 3.5, 4 hours a week because she's and not only that, more importantly for her, is that she gets better results with her clients because she can go deeper with them. So basically, she retracts the information from the conversation or the notes that she's taken with the client. She uploads it, it writes the script. And I think I got like 37 or 27, I can't remember, 27 or 37 different modalities running in the background. So she can layer her scripts, which she hasn't been able to do before, which is quite it she loves it. It's really cool. So, why are agents important? When you use them strategically this way, you save yourself. It's not just about saving yourself a significant amount of money now. You know, yes, you save a significant amount of money on outsourcing costs. It also means that you can now just think what skills are missing within my business. You can create an agent to help you to fill those, which means that you're going to reduce your overhead costs significantly. The third thing for me, and actually it's the most important for me, is that you get better results with your clients because you can meet them exactly where they're at. So, I mean, we upgraded to 4.5 today with ChatGPT, and it's now even more human than it was before. But for me, why this is important is because it's person centered. I can um, I can write copy and messages that is better aligned to the person it is that I'm working with and marketing messages, which is really, for me, that's just worth its weight in gold. Even if I wasn't saving and making money, that for me is the most important part, is the client experience, because AI ultimately helps you to provide a better customer centric business. So let's pop across to ChatGPT so I can show you. Oh, I thought I had it open. Oh, I did have it open. I can show you where the agents sit. Okay, so these are all the different types of agents that I've created. They all sit in the left-hand column. So you can see I've got quite a lot of them. Well, there's 45 to be exact. And I create a couple, pretty much create a couple every week and add them into the Vortex accelerator where people can get access to them. But if I come across to the right-hand side and I go to my GPTs, this is just another way of accessing them. So this is another one that I should probably add into one of the ones that everybody should one of the ones that everybody should have as well or should use. And it's based around money mindset. And it's to help business owners to crush their money box, basically, help them to see the value and what it is that they're pricing, and then help them to understand what it is they're pricing as well. But ultimately, what you can do is you can, by doing the @ sign, let's just say I do a piece of work in Zora around my money mindset, my stinky money mindset, I call it. And I want to pull in someone else's perspective. So I could pull in Tip. So Tip and Zora work well together because Tip is about pricing, strategy, communication. Zora is more personal, more about personal money blocks that you're struggling with. So you can bring Tip in and you can say something like, Tip, what are you seeing above? How can I manage this better in my business? And then Tip will come back because it's been trained on sales psychology, and it will reply with what it's seen above. And from there, you can start to have a conversation. You can start resolving and thinking about, how am I going to get around this money block? How is it that how is it that I'm going to charge the fees that I want to charge? Is this price at the right point? Well, it's just endless. It's just endless. What else is it that I can have? I don't want to add this. Can we take it out? What impact will that have? So it's just absolutely mind-blowing. So what I say to my clients every week is that you start with Lucas, the CEO, at the beginning of the week. We have documents it is that you create. So when you start the chat, you upload the documents to give context. So that would be things like um, what sets you apart, your ideal client, your quarterly financial goals, what is it that you are marketing in the second quarter. So they're just some of the documents that we would upload. So you've got context, you know what direction you're heading in, it knows the tone of voice, it knows the style, it's already set up, ready to go. And then we have conversation with Lucas. I'm working on this. What do you recommend? I need to send this email. Can you help me write it? And then we do everything within Lucas unless we're doing an individual project. And then we analyze it at the end of the week to see what we've done, what we've done, what we've done well, what the bottlenecks are, the successes, the highs, the lows. And this becomes quite important because then we analyze that at the end of the 4 weeks each week. And then we can see where the bottlenecks are clearly in the business, what's working, what's not working, what is it we need to change. So it's really, really smart because it's been trained that way, but also because you're giving it the right data to work from. So let me just hop across a second. Does anyone have any questions? Hey, Paul. You can take
Uh,
yourself off mute if you want.
I've got a question, Wendy.
Yep.
If I've understood you correctly, so you have created agents that other
Yep.
people can use. So
Yep.
if when people use them, is their company information and inputs and outputs all kind of kept private within
Yep.
their ChatGPT account? Yeah,
Yeah. I think of ChatGPT like the Matrix. So you
yeah,
put information of it in. It's not thinking of it as being Wendy's information. It's thinking it in terms of digits and numbers.
yeah.
It's thinking of it in terms of streams of information and patterns. And then what it's doing is it's putting it into, it's a bit like the Borg. I don't know if you, is it Star Trek? I can't remember. It's a bit like the Borg. It simulates it all. And then it creates patterns and conclusions and it learns that way. It's not thinking about it in terms of um, someone's what's IP. What you can
Mm.
do is you can turn off, there's a switch within inside ChatGPT that you can click. And if you're worried about something, just click it off and then it won't add it to the memory.
Yeah,
But I always say that if you think that it shouldn't be in there, it should be in there.
yeah.
And then just go by that.
And you talked about 45 different agents. So how do you make the call that, so I don't know, you could have an agent that's a copywriter. Do you
Yeah.
go, right, here's an AI that's copywriter for LinkedIn, a different one for Facebook, a different one for sales emails, or do you go, actually, I've just got one agent for copywriting that
No,
can do lots of things?
I've got several agents that do different things because they're programmed and set up differently.
Mm,
So they give a different structure for what they do. What I actually find, which is really interesting, is that normally someone falls in love with one of them and has a really sounds a bit weird, just really likes that specific agent. And then they have a tendency to do everything in it. And I'm like, no, 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 you don't want to do it that way. But they're like, no, I like this one. They just stay with that agent, which is quite funny. But they are all designed specifically to do different tasks.
Thank you.
And could you make other agents from that? Or do you have to make the agents if somebody comes onto your program?
Yeah, so I create all of them. Yeah, so they're yeah, I have it's like a 14-step process that I go through to create them.
Mhm.
Anyone else got a question? We all
So
good?
do you do an interview then with somebody wanting to join your program? Do you do an interview with them to see exactly what they want and then make up using your 14 points, make up the agents?
No, I know my clients quite well, so normally I have just not an interview, but just a conversation with them. And then I figure it out, then I figure it out from there. So energetically, it's funny. People think you can create them and then clone them and copy them, and then you know everyone can use them. For me, it doesn't work that way. For me, it's about, if I created one for you, George, I get I have a sense of who you are, what your business is about. Whereas if I created one for Fiona, you're two different people. So it's like this, I just create with the individual in mind, and then everybody can use them, but they are created around an individual, their business, and their needs, rather
But
than copying them.
at the end of the day, it's what if even if you created, say, an agent for me, the answers would still depend a lot on what I asked of it.
Yeah, completely. And because you're using it on your system, it's always going to be different because your ChatGPT knows you different. ChatGPT knows you. My ChatGPT knows me.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be different. It's always going to be different. I've got, I think, 13 people doing a like a hybrid masterclass with me at the moment, and they're all using the same agents, but they're all getting different output. It's like someone put in the group, oh, so Lucas is the CEO. Someone put in the group, oh, Lucas is got a really good sense of humor, and I didn't want to ruin it because she's got a really good sense of humor. So Lucas is mirroring her sense of humor. So it's mirroring what ChatGPT knows about her combined with how I've set up the AI, because it's not very funny with me, but I'm not very funny. So it's it depends on the person using it as to how it's going to respond, which is
Right.
very clever. It's mind blowing. And if you think that you can now, I mean, I don't know why it's taken me so long to realize this, but if you think now that you've got a skill gap in your business and you want to fill it, all you need to do is to create an agent to fill the gap,
Yeah.
which is
I know you
incredible.
mentioned it earlier. You sort of said, you have to share knowledge with it to customize and get optimal results. Do you like how much information do you share? Is it just like key documents of, target customers? This is what my services are. This is some, style and tone of voice, or is it loads and loads that you would share?
So what we do is we set up, like, I think it's 5 primary documents
Mm,
that we've created specifically. No, it's not specifically. They're the basic business documents you would have in a business, but not many people have them in an
hmm
actual structure, in
mm.
terms of filtered down into a structure, getting it out of their head, um, and really focusing in on what it is that they need to be doing. So we just add those like 5 core documents, and then it takes it from there. And they ultimately every 3 months they change anyway for the next quarter. So you upgrade them as you upgrade them each quarter. Otherwise, you're going to get the wrong output. But it depends what you're working on as well. That's the other thing.
Mm.
Depends what you're doing.
Wendy, do you mean that you need to re-input all of the information or just the changes in the quarters?
The changes in the quarters. So the changes in the quarters you would probably have on a document, like a Word document, a PDF, or, you would have it written down. Not everyone, but, you would have it somewhere, and then you would upload each quarter what you're working on for the next quarter. So if, each quarter, if you're marketing something different each quarter and your sales targets have changed and your marketing has changed, which is often the case, you need to update it with that new and fresh information.
Right.
What I've found working this way is that because you're constantly analyzing what you're doing, you can grow much faster. Oh, my partner's just bought me a cake. Oh, not a cake. Oh no, it's not a cake. It's a bit of jewelry then. Oh, it's not cake. Um, yeah, your messaging changes much quicker because you're seeing things that you can't see normally. You can't see the patterns in what you're doing. You can't see your growth. Whereas now, when you work this way, you can, because it can see how you're evolving, which is, I've had such fun. I've had such fun with it. It's told me I'm the bottleneck in my business and how to resolve it. It's told me that how my messaging has changed, how the business has grown. It's how I've grown, how the business has grown. You can't get that. It's just priceless. It's just absolutely priceless. But that's how I'm using it, and that's how I teach other people to use it, because I think that's where the biggest for me, that's where the most value is in that growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Paul, you got any questions?
Not yet, Wendy. No, I'll probably reserve a separate session with you, I think.
Yeah, cool. I need to send you a calendar link. We'll get a cuppa.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So
Very interesting. Nice to see people sort of the older generation on here.
Oh, yes. I keep good company.
It is good.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Good. Amazing.
So any final questions?
No, that's fine. I've enjoyed that. I have to go now because
All right, George,
got
you
another-
networking.
the
Thanks,
going
Wendy.
to network.
Useful.
I have to have a cup of tea before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I might join you actually. Okay, guys. I'll be
Thanks,
running
Wendy.
I'll be running another lunch and learn. The next one I'm actually doing is for solicitors and accountants, but then I'll be doing another one after that. So I'll keep you posted through email.
Great. Thanks, Wendy.
Take care,
Okay,
guys.
thanks.
Thanks, Wendy.
Bye.
Thanks,